Today is a big day for the USA because of interest rates, and we have some updates for that. I think that they are going to lower them, and I think it's going to be a little bit aggressive. In addition to that, we've got some pretty interesting news with XRP and Zcash. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about everything. Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto, every single day. If you don't know who I am, that's okay. I'm your favorite bimbo on the internet. In addition to that, make sure to like this video, drop me a comment, subscribe, set alerts, do all the things, because we have a lot to discuss today in a short period of time, because I've overbooked myself again. And yesterday, if you guys didn't know, I actually had the worst flare-up I've had in months. It was bad. Very, 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 very bad. But I'm okay. I'm here. And in addition to that, I forgot to eat breakfast because that happens. But I made some steaks yesterday, so I'll have those for breakfast with some eggs in a little bit. But let's get into the current state of the news. And also, this is your friendly reminder. If you're not staying hydrated, you need to stay hydrated. All right? Because I have so many clickbait titles, you need to stay hydrated. All right, let's get into it. So this is going to be one of the ending stories because you guys don't like regulatory stuff, okay? You do not like. So we get a post here from 21 shares, and there's not a lot of context, but I guess this is the spot ETF that you guys were referring to, or TikTok was referring to. Unfortunately, I can't stream on TikTok because I got banned because of the OnlyFans comment, so can't say anything over there, even though I don't show anything, but that's fine. In addition to that, it looks like we are going to be getting ready for the XRP 21 shares ETF launch. So they're kind of teasing. Kind of to what Solana is doing with XRP. We don't know if that's trolling, if there actually will be some sort of partnership. My personal opinion is that they will have some sort of cross-chain capability. Why wouldn't you? Again, XRP is the second most popular crypto in the entire world, especially when it comes to retail. And retail does matter despite what the banks and the public servants and everyone else likes to think. We are competent. We are intelligent. And that's probably why the XRP army is kind of really out-traded and out-invested money in this cycle. Now, some of the key notes over here, all right? And remember, the XRP spot ETF broke $1 billion AUM yesterday, which is absolutely amazing. It's one of the most successful ETFs outside of Bitcoin, BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF from IBIT. But 21 shares will soon launch its U.S. spot XRP ETF under the ticker TOXR, which I like, TOXR. That I like because it's almost like they're like being toxicos. Shout out to my baby daddy. Shout out to my baby daddy. The ETF was recently approved by CBOE BZX Exchange, and 21 shares also recently filed a Fifth Amendment to its S1 filing with the SEC. Final step before launch, but no launch date given. So they're just teasing y'all a little bit. They're teasing you guys a little bit. And you know what? That's okay. We've talked about on the show the reality of the situations when it comes to the ETFs. It takes a very long time for these things to get approved. But once they get approved, they're there, and it opens a way for other people, other crypto spot ETFs to get approved. And as I have always said, always said, the cryptos that I'm paying attention to long term are going to be cryptos that will be made into crypto spot ETFs, digital asset spot ETFs, and those that have like that AI, RWAs, and DeFi. And that actually have technology that is being used by these big banks. Yes, the cool thing about these projects that are decentralized is that retail can still have fun and build on top of them, which is good. But we want that liquidity coming in from TradFi, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. But again, don't take anything I'm saying word for word, okay? Now, next on the docket, we got some privacy stuff, okay? So this was the article over here. I like that TradingView is doing this. It's giving me kind of Messari, and we use Messari a lot because it's just a wonderful platform. But apparently, Zcash is discreetly sitting in U.S. government wallets, creating a bizarre conflict for regulators attacking privacy. So this is an article from Crypto Slate. I'm curious to see a little bit more about it. So apparently from Arkham, Arkham shows that the U.S. government holds 1.5 million in Zcash, which was seized from dark web marketplace in Alphabay in 2017. Zcash will be a major topic on the December 15th Crypto SEC Task Force, which we're going to get people coming from different privacy stuff. They're going to go sit in with the SEC, and the roundtable is going to be focused on financial surveillance and privacy. And the founder of Zcash and other privacy tech leaders will be participating. And the reason why this matters so much. So the U.S. government is holding Zcash, but they're not holding it in like a reserve or anything like that. Because remember, we don't have any reserve set up for Bitcoin and whatnot on a federal level yet. Eventually, I think that we will. But they are holding it, which is interesting. And will they put this in a strategic reserve? Is that how it's going to work? But the controversy here, like Arkham is supposed to, you know, kind of track things and whatnot, but like, is Zcash really privacy? ZEC? Is it? Is it? Privacy matters, though, and I do want to take this time to segue. I'm going to be hosting a space with the Samurai Wallet dev. He unfortunately is being sentenced for creating a privacy creating code. This is going to be on Monday. I want to say at 5 p.m. PT. I'm going to go ahead and post for you guys. It's incredibly important that we make a little bit of noise, because just like how Ross was unjustly imprisoned for creating a decentralized platform, and for people to and for people to use, just because other people made bad decisions, he shouldn't be held accountable. Code is law. Or excuse me, code is speech. Same with Tornado Cash and Samurai Wallet and whatnot. And they've been friends of the channel for a long time, so it's important to give them shout outs and whatnot. So that's what we do, and to use the platform for good, because you can have this big platform. If you don't use it for good, what the hell are you doing? There's no point. Now, let's go ahead and segue into privacy a little bit more over here, because it looks like Confidential Layer, our partners of the show today, they partnered with the O Show, Everything Crypto, for today's episode. But they're a new privacy bridge for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana base, BNB chain, and more. And it's the first ever protocol to connect public chains to privacy chains like Xano and FIRO, FIRO. And over 27 million was bridged since launch, which congratulations and amazing. And the TGE for the new token Clone, #Clone, went live today. And Clone powers the bridge and rewards stakers. So you can go ahead and stake this if that makes sense for you. Users can stake and now start earning rewards. And the protocol takes 0.3% fee on transactions, and 40% go to stakers, and will continue growth. Staking APR could reach up to 147% depending on volume. And the protocol is also doing token buybacks. More bridging volume means more buybacks, and more transaction volume means higher APY for stakers. So this is something that's interesting to you. If you like privacy, if you're interested in it and you want to use something that's multi-chain, check out Confidential Layer, and all the links and whatnot will be below. And before we get into the next topic over here, and look at night. Look at night. It's pumping like crazy. That's Cardano's privacy sidechain over there. So I need to give my channel members a shout out over here. First off, thank you so much to Lawrence for the $10 super chat. I'm a little bit tired because I've just been tired. I had a really bad flare-up yesterday, but I'm good. Thank you for showing up. Also, hello to Mike, to Dale, to Gumby, to Mr. R, to Mr. D, to Callie. Who else we got here? Gentopia, Sparkwater, Lawrence again. Where else? I need food, Lawrence. I'm hungry. I'm going to go get food today. Shout out to Mr. Gamer. Gamer Lo told me that she was texting with your daughter over, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, but she loves her so much. She's like, she tells people at school, she's like, yeah, I have a friend and she's really into K-pop and she's older. So she looks up to her, and your daughter is a wonderful role model. So thank you so much for that. Who else? Mr. Jermaine watching me on Memorex, and shout out to Saul for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And what else is going on? Neil Weston. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. I went to Costco the other day with Lo. I dragged her. She was pissed. She was mad. She said, "That's a face. That's a face. That's part from her dad's side of the family, though." But you know, gotta do what we gotta do. All right, let's go and take a quick look at the market right here before we get into the other stuff, because I got things to do. All right, so night is up again. Yesterday was pretty bad. I think yesterday was a day that you were able to actually claim it in trading. So, of course, people dumped it. That's what people do. I mean, hello. But it's back up, which is great. We like privacy stuff over here. I like privacy. Privacy is important. I don't want people in my damn business. I don't. Why would I? Why is this not doing it? Here's a full chart. Here we go. So what's happening with Bitcoin? Yeah, we have the FOMOC happening today. Let me see if I think Mixing sent me something in the chat. Let's see, whatever. What did he say? Hassett repeats Fed has plenty of room to reduce interest rates. You could definitely get 50 or even more. With strong showcase of data, could secure 50 BPS cut. So that's what's happening with interest rates. But again, those of you that have been watching the show, we love to use Bitcoin as a hedge against this type of stuff, because it doesn't matter what they do with the interest rates. They are going to sustain. Doesn't matter what we do. Or the cost of goods and services isn't going to go down. Lowe's recital is good. So I actually will tell you guys really quick, and we'll get back into the charts. So that's happening in interest rates. Stupid, right? So I got to see my nephew. I got to see my little baby. I love that little boy so much. I love him like he's mine. And I got to hold him the entire time. But we also played Invisible Dinosaur around one of the Christmas trees because he wouldn't eat his turkey sandwich and he needed cookies. So we had to do that. But Lowe's recital went wonderful. She did really well. Her performance, her stage presence, 10-10. She praised Jesus so hard. It made me really, really happy. But she's really kind of growing into herself as a performer, which I love. So I'm really proud of her. She knows. Probably take her get a little bean and cheese burrito after I pick her up. What else? I was brought up Italian Catholic, and if you know, you know. I probably should go to church, but I just have a very complicated relationship with God. And but if I do go back to religion, it will be Catholic, because that's what I was brought up, and it's out of respect for my great aunt. I'm gonna make her proud, and I do things to make my ancestors proud, because that's what you do, especially when you're raised. It's a different culture. Like Sicilian Italian culture, American culture is incredibly, incredibly strict, and very much like you do things to make your she did. Oh, that's so cute, gamer. Aw. Of course gamers got a flex, which we love. VIP backpack. And she uses that for travel when she goes to her dad's. But in Italian Sicilian culture, we're very it's very much you don't want to shame the family. So but I would probably do that. But my mom, my Sicilian Catholic mom, was like going off about like the Christian church a little bit. And like you can't, she's 70, so you cannot tell an older Sicilian woman anything, especially when it comes to the church. So she was going off, and it was so funny. I'm just like, oh God. But it was a wonderful time. We had a good time. And God bless America. Woo! Now, Bitcoin. Let's go on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's doing its thing. We are actually above the EMA 9 and the 20, which is good. Looks like we want to get a little bit of a bull cross. So just the tip right there. We're about 92,000. I want to see a flip above 94 before I get excited. Ethereum is doing well. Ethereum is actually outperforming Bitcoin. And I'm so happy about this because I have big Ethereum bags and I need that $10,000 Ethereum. So Tommy Lee, pump it. Pump it like Tommy Lee. Anyways, we're actually getting ready to flip the EMA 200 as a resistance. Absolutely love to see it. For Solana is kind of a little bit sluggish, which is unfortunate because they have their breakout conference, I believe, this week. Hopefully they do announce something with Ripple or XRP and whatnot. I would shout out to Solana. XRP, a little bit sluggish over here. A little bit sluggish over here, despite the little news, the little banter with Solana, and also the little bit of the banter with, 21 shares. 21, can you do something for me? Chainlink, kind of chilling above 1375, and yeah, we're looking good there. Now, let's get into Solana a little over here. So Solana liquidity plummets to bear level territory, mid $500 million liquidation. So this is the thing. These articles are okay. But I don't think it just kind of, the entire market sucks right now. So it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if a bunch of Solana was liquidated. That's not bearish to me. I mean, I guess its liquidity has dropped to bear market levels, whatever. Analysts say Sol is in a full liquidity reset. Pattern has previously preceded market bottoms. Cool, pump it. Good. Let it dump until it bottoms out and then let it send. Solana is those ones that I like long term, and I even said that during the whole FTX crypto contagion thing. It was something that I continued to hold, and I'm glad that I did. Now, Ethereum ETFs hit 6-week high as investors rotate within crypto. And it's pretty interesting to me. It says over here that ETFs attracted 177.6 million on Tuesday, which was yesterday. Single largest day inflow in 6 weeks. Divergence shows structural rotations as institutions entered Bitcoin. Blah, 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 blah. The recent operating of major U.S. wirehouses gives trillions of dollars new access to crypto ETFs from Bitwise guy. That's because his bags are heavy. So this is the thing. I'm wondering, and this is just me being, my bimbo on the internet. But I wonder, Ethereum looks really, really, really strong compared to Bitcoin and some of the other stuff. And thank you for the 100+ interactions in the chat. Make sure you guys push it out. It looks a lot stronger compared to Bitcoin. So I'm wondering if the inflows are finally catching up and really causing price movements. I think that will happen over time, but it will, but again, this is like an older ETF. So we'll see. But more liquidity, the better. Now, Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs turned positive with 152 million in inflows ahead of Fed rate decision. So right now, Bitcoin is kind of chilling right now. And, you know, there's talk with FOMC meeting that they're going to lower interest rates, which I hope that they do. But we'll see how that happens. And maybe that will cause Bitcoin to finally move upwards once it's officially announced. But I like that we saw 152 million in net inflows December 9th. Ahead of the Fed's policy decision. So that's basically what's happening is they're betting, TradFi, whoever's buying these ETFs is betting that we're going to get bullish FOMC news and numbers going to go up. Whale wallets are accumulating. Smart retail wallets are distributing. Systematic leverage has fallen to 4 to 5%, improving market health. And previous FOMC meetings mostly triggered Bitcoin sell-off. So hopefully we get some nice positive news and it makes market go up because it looks like the whale wallets are accumulating and that's what they want. Now, the Fed... We talked about the Fed a little bit today, but again, it does look like they are going to lower interest rates. That would be really iconic if we got 50 BPS lower rates of the thing. Bitcoin After Dark, a brand new ETF filing because you can't just have one. You got to have multiple derivatives, derivatives on derivatives on derivatives on derivatives. So a new filing for ETF that will only hold Bitcoin at night. What the hell? This is actually really interesting, like verbiage, considering midnight's night. Shout out to Lawrence, he knows. Mixing, what's so funny? Oh, Fed announcement 11 minutes, so I better wrap it up. Boop, boop. And Mixing, can you tweet on my account whatever the announcement is? Because I have a call. Also, you guys, Mixing changed in our chats, our work chats. He changed his profile picture to this little character. I don't know what it is, but it's so funny. Shout out to Alpha. Shout out to altcoin Alpha. I follow back on all verifieds. I don't. Anyways, you can only trade it at night, so it's a sexy one. And shout out to MicroStrategy for this, all right? MicroStrategy, this is actually bullish for Bitcoin. Strategy submitted its response to MSCI consultation on digital asset treasury companies. Index standards should be neutral, consistent, and reflective of global market evolution. This is dope. Michael Saylor did it. I'm going to explain to you why. Okay. Why? So the MSCI is like a Morgan Stanley thing that gets to evaluate the market. And I don't understand why the banks or anybody that can create a traditional financial product outside of the SEC and the CFTC or governing bodies have anything to say about any of the ETFs or any traditional financial products. It seems like a big circle jerk with best interest. That like it's to me it's giving insider trading. To me, it's giving, we are going to dictate what something is so we can profit about it. Because then we know what the announcement's going to be and then we can come out and out the side of our neck and profit. While retail is sitting on the side. So strategy urged MSCI to draw a proposal that would bar DAT companies, which a lot of these DAT companies suck. They have no idea what they're doing. I was actually talking to my daughter's friend's mom. She owns a firm, and I'm going to come in and talk to her and connect her with certain people. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But like traditional financial stuff. But moral of the story is like the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of these dads don't know what they're doing. I was explaining to her, like, just focus on Bitcoin right now. And I'll explain about the crypto spot ETFs later, but you know, we're talking through the pews. So basically it urges DATs like Strategy are real operating companies, not investment funds. And I do agree with that because is Strategy really like a real company? But the thing is, though, is all these companies shouldn't have been able to go public based off that DAT narrative if this wasn't established before. But I guess that we can go back and blame the SEC, we can blame the CFTC, and we can blame the previous administration and their unjust attacks on crypto. Strategy says MSCI's 50% digital asset thresholds is arbitrary and discriminatory. Claims the proposal adds policy bias into indexes and conflicts with U.S. policy. Not necessarily. I mean, I do kind of agree with what MSCI is saying here because there does need to be certain standards, but it's not their job to bring those standards, is it? It claims proposal adds Strategy urges MSCI to revoke the proposal. With that being said, we'll find out. I want to say December 15th or 16th, what's going to happen. Because if there's any trouble in paradise for Strategy, they own a lot of Bitcoin. It can cause a lot of issues with their stocks and dumping and all kinds of stuff. And it's going to trickle on down. Now, Strategy also flipped Amazon in trading volume. We love that. And this is the Oh, that's what was that? I don't know what that is. This is the non-sexy stuff, but we got to get into it. This is incredibly bullish news, and no one's going to care. Okay. So, SEC Chair Atkins says many types of crypto ICOs are outside the agent's purview and should be considered non-securities. ICOs tied to network tokens, digital collectibles, and digital tools would instead fall under CFTC oversight. So basically, SEC is like, hey, we're going to give it to you, Miss Caroline Queen. So you take over. We don't want to deal with this, which I guess this is good. But only tokenized securities would remain under the US SEC regulation. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's just taking time. And this is better. Like, they're just like, you know what? We've got our hands tied. You take it over. We want you to deal with it. This could revive ICO fundraising in the US without new legislation. And the reason why this story is so important, because Coinbase has their ICO platform that is available to retail. And the first token they did was Monad. So if this becomes the case and we can do ICOs again, then we're going to see a lot of money coming in, and that's where we could get that altcoin season. Let's see. Also, OCC confirms bank authority to engage in riskless principal crypto asset transaction. What the hell is riskless? There's no risk to any. There's risk to everything, honey. Make sure y'all smash the like too. So they confirm that banks can legally conduct riskless principal transactions. Banks may buy crypto from one customer and instantly sell to another. So basically offering trading, buying and selling trading as an intermediary without holding crypto on their balance sheet. Treated like broker-style facilitation, not proprietary trading. Banks must follow normal safety, soundness, and compliance rules. Clarification removes major regulatory gray area. Expected to open the door for wider bank-led trading crypto in 2026. Let me read the next story because this relates directly, and then I'm going to cook before I go. OCC boss says no justification to judge banks and crypto differently. Okay. So basically, he says crypto firms seeking federal bank charters should have the same oversight and pathway as other financial institutions. Okay. OCC has reviewed 14 new bank applications in 2025, including crypto or digital asset-focused entities. Chartering crypto banks ensures the banking system keeps pace with financial innovation. Gold could emphasize that OCC can effectively supervise new entrants while supporting innovation banking. Now, the reason why this is incredibly important is, okay, why is this important? So I want banks to be able to offer crypto. Why? Because they actually have customer service, because they actually have FDIC. And a lot of crypto exchanges just suck. They really, really, really do. Banks are held to different standards. Like, obviously, there's a couple crypto exchanges that I like. There's 2 off the top of my head, maybe even 3. I use them. Anyways, but moral of the story is that a lot of these crypto companies, their customer service is so bad, their work ethic is so bad. I don't want to deal with them. I would rather just deal with my bank. And when we're talking about mass adoption, and again, don't shoot the messenger. When we're talking, my hair is hairing today. I like it. I feel bonita. My hair, not my face, obviously. But to get people to leave their bank is next to impossible. It's going to be hard. So I'd like to see crypto regulation. I like to see, and shout out to Uphold. They were always great to the XRP army for such a long time. But I'd like to see more banks be able to custody crypto, offer FDIC insurance. And that's when we will see mass adoptions. Unfortunately, not with the crypto exchanges, unless they become banks. Thanks for the $10 super chat. I know. All right. Well, be safe, Lawrence. Have a good rest of the day and be safe. So anyways, that was my kind of thing I wanted to say, which is why this is the thing is good with the OCC saying banks can deal with crypto, but we do need to deal with the FDIC insurance. We need to make sure we're protected to an extent, even though it's not super great. And in addition to that, I do want to be able to take out collateral against my Bitcoin. Yeah. And what else did I want to do? Oh, it's just better for the masses. It really, really is. Because like when I donate money to the self-care lab, sometimes I have crypto. I'm short on cash. I just want to send it to her, make it easy so she could access it, you know? So anyways, but I have to go. I got a video, guys, coming out 2 p.m. PT. And then the news wrap up of the day. Mike Vollmer said 3 minutes until Chapow, but I got to go. I got a call. A lot of calls. Anyways, thank you guys so much for showing up today. I greatly appreciate it. Let's fingers crossed that we get the XRP 21 shares ETF that goes live soon. And hopefully at Solana Breakpoint, we get some sort of announcement with XRP. That would be dope. I know, right after the stream. I got to go, though. And I got to eat. I haven't eaten. Sending y'all love and light. I will be back later today and tomorrow. Bye, babies. And thank you for asking about my daughter. She did great.